S sub n is the first sum of the first n terms. This is an approximation for the remainder after that. And that's what they're asking for here. All right? I think I get my head back into this. All right, minimum number of terms needed to be within 10 to the negative third. So we need to set that equal to, or, yeah, equal to 10 to the negative third and solve. We want the remainder to be less than 10 to the negative, so set that less than.
And then solve for n.
Okay. So that means if we do the reciprocal of each side, 3 to the n, ln 3 should be greater than 10 to the positive third. Because if you flip this, that becomes positive. Is that all right? Which is 1,000. So we got 3 to the n greater than 1,000 over ln 3. We can take the natural log of each side and bring that n down.
Divide by.
That allows us to bring the n down. Looking kind of crazy. Divide by this ln 3. And run it through a calculator. So ln 1,000 divided by ln 3, careful with the parentheses, all of that divided by ln 3, and I get 6.202.
Yep.
Okay, so remember, we always have to round these up. We cannot round down because rounding down would decrease our accuracy, and we cannot decrease accuracy. Does that make sense? So they always have to go up. So n has to be greater than, I'll put equal to here, 7. Since we went up, it can equal 7. So let's see what they
Do you
like.
round up to the nearest whole number? Like the,
Yes.
so like in my brain,
You
you're like
round
round
it.
up, so I'm like, okay, 6.21, or like, you know, like.
No,
the-
you go up to
so
the
we go
whole
up to the whole
number.
number, okay,
Yeah, because we're talking number of terms and we cannot do a partial term.
got it.
Does that make sense? All right, so the minimum number of terms needed is 7. Pray and fast for a little bit and then
Yeah.
come back and check it. There you go. Okay. Okay, everybody cool with that? All right, what's next here? Use an integral to find lower and upper bounds respectively on the exact value of the series. Choose the correct answer below. So, that's not my answer, I'm just looking at it here. So the upper bound, these over here, u sub n's, that's gonna be the original series, which is the 1 over 3 to the k. So that would be either B or C, 1 over 3 to the k, plus what we got over here, our integral here. And I don't see that here, so what's going on?
Oh, well, if you write it as 3 to the negative n over ln 3, is that on there?
There it is, right here. It's C.
Because it's the same value.
So, do you guys see this 3 to the negative n here? If you put that down below, make it 3 to the positive n, then that matches this. See that? And then for the lower bound, we just need, instead of n, we need n plus 1, which is what they have here.
They give it to us.
Because it's the lower one is n plus 1. Does that make sense? So I believe it's going to be C. There it is. Did that help? All right, you stretched my brain a little bit there. I was not
It's
in
not-
this mode. I was in a whole nother mode. Now I got to figure out how to get back into my other mode.
You have to hit continue for some reason, and it keeps going. Yeah, it's weird.
Keep going.
And this is the juicy part right here.
Okay, use the upper and lower bounds to find an interval in which the value of the series must lie if you approximate it using 10 terms of the series. So that means we need to go up here, we need to put in 10 and work this out, right?
Yeah, it wants us to use that formula, it says,
Okay.
from part C.
So this is where we want to use that series calculator, because we have to put in 10 for n, so we got to add up 10 of these terms, 1 over 3 to the 1, plus 1 over 3 to the 2, plus 1 over 3 to the 3rd, plus 1 over 3 to the 4th, all the way to 10. And we don't want to get a common denominator and do that all by hand, I don't believe. And we don't want to type each one of those into a calculator and get decimal approximations and add all those either. That's not going to be reliable because it's a high chance of a mistake. So we use a series calculator. Then we put in 10 for n here and calculate this, add it onto that result, and we have the lower bound. We got to do the same thing over here to get the upper bound.
And Desmos helps for that part. The Desmos,
Desmos?
the scientific calculator
Yes.
helps with that, where you just copy
You're right.
paste and
The Desmos calculator is easier than this for this stuff. 'Cause you can do the
oh,
copy
big
and
time.
paste.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do it. Once we get this, it'll be the same on both of those. We just have to add that part. All right? So 1 over 3 to the k, we're going to go from 1 to 10.
And that's on the Canvas, right?
Yeah, go
In
to our
the
Canvas homepage where I have links down here, series calculator. Open that one. Three to the n, is that what we're doing? Yes, 3 to the k, we're gonna use the n in the calculator. Going from 1 to 10, and calculate. There it is. That's what you would have got if you got a common denominator. Your common denominator would have been 59,049. Not a fun thing to find, is it? And if you had done decimal form, you would have got all these and had to make sure you don't make any mistakes and get that into your calculator. All right, so let's take this, copy. Let's go to Desmos, scientific calculator. You have to do Control V. There it is. Now, we need to add on to that this part with 10 n for n. Well, we can do that on Desmos too.
Yeah.
3 to the negative 10 plus 1, so that'll be 3 to the negative 11
Exactly.
over natural log 3.
Yeah. And then
Plus 3 to the negative 11 over ln 3. And we got our answer here. Control C,
to
back to our problem.
7 decimals.
Okay, it says round to 7 decimals. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we need to take off 3. Now, that 7 is gonna round that 6 up, isn't it?
Doesn't it run down? Was it last time that?
We just left it alone, but I don't know, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right, we ended up not.
Says do not round until the final answer, then round to 7 decimal places as needed, and you're correct. So, because this is the lower side of the interval, we don't round up, do we?
We
No,
kind of leave it alone.
because that would narrow our interval, which would assume more accuracy than we have. Does that make sense? So, take that one off without doing any rounding there. Now the upper bound, we gotta round up. Okay, so to do the upper bound,
Switch to the 11.
switch that 11 to a 10, right? Because,
Yep.
so we're putting in 10 for in. This was 10 plus 1 is 11, but now it's just 10. So switch that 11 to a 10. Copy and paste this guy. Control C. Control V. And again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 decimal places, so we're gonna take off 3. And this one, we do need to round up, because if we just cut off the 4, that narrows the interval, right? We can't narrow our interval. So that that 9 has to become a 10, which makes the 6 a 7. Is that okay? There.
Some heavy stuff.